Can you take a seat and then we have speeches one after the other. So the master's first year and second year students of Department of Geology have prepared a song for the program. I would request the students to kindly come forward.
Cause I am here for a reason. Sometimes in my tears I drown, but I never let it get me down. So when negativity surrounds, I know someday all my life I've been waiting for, I've been praying for the people to say that we don't wanna fight no more. There'll be no more wars, and our children will day. One day, one day, one day, one day, one day. About when they feed on the souls of the innocent, blood drenched pavement, keep on moving till the water stay raging. In this place, you can lose your way, your way. If I turn facing away, my tears I drown, but I never let it get me down. So when negativity surrounds, I know someday it'll all turn around. 'Cause all my life I've been waiting for, I've been praying for the people to say that we don't wanna fight no more. There'll be no more war, and our children will play. One day, one day, one day. violence, down with the hate. We will all be free and proud to be under the same sun, singing songs of freedom like we-oh, we-oh, we-oh. My life I've been waiting for, I've been praying for the people to say that we don't want to fight no more, there'll be no more war, and our children will play. One day, one day, one day, one day, one day, one day.
Next, I'd like to call upon Professor Walia to participate some of our other important guests. I would like to call on stage Professor Streamlet. I'd like to call upon Professor Birja. Some of our stage participants. Mr. K.P. Goswami. Mr. Ashutosh Pandey. Roshni Subha. Professor C.P. Suresh. Now I'd like to call Professor S.S. Chaturvedi. We'd also like to felicitate KD in whose any representation from KD can come up on stage. On the auspicious day of this Environment Day, we would also like to have the book inauguration by our chief guest, who has written these beautiful books of Sanatan living. And so, the official inauguration, I would like the Vice Chancellor to do the official inauguration of the book by our chief guest. I now would like to invite Professor Dinesh to give the welcome address.
Yeah, good morning to you all. Best wishes for World Environment Day. We all know that this day is celebrated all over the globe. This is a global phenomenon, and it started since 1973. 73, why I said the day when Nehru was also born. So we are organizing 50th anniversary of World Environment Day as well as 50th anniversary of Northeastern University. So I welcome you, sir, on this very auspicious day. On the day when Northeastern University was born, as well as United Nations Environment Program (UNEP) thought to organize such events world over, so that to make aware the people that one day is not enough. You have to be there for the earth, because we have only one earth to live in. There is no other planet for us to live. So as we don't have any other planet, then we need to make aware each and everyone, those who are living in the process of living and livelihood. We tend to forget that the earth from where we are getting pure air, pure water, pure food. So in the process, we tend to forget. At least such days are there to remind you that we are on the earth and earth is taking care of us. So I again would like to welcome DS Foundation, Dinesh Shahra Foundation, to have come up on this very important occasion and provide their best possible support, so that we are able to promote the cause, to promote the World Environment Day in the way we wanted to. I would also like to thank our Vice Chancellor in charge, sir, Professor D.K. Nayak sir, who have taken out time from his extremely busy schedule to be there with us to grace this program, along with Dinesh, Shahra, Saad. We have our one of the sponsors, you can say, is Rotary Club of Orchid City, Shillong. I happen to be the president of Rotary Club of Orchid City, Shillong, and we fall under a district which is called 3240 district, which is catering to the requirements of most parts of the northeastern region as well as some parts of the west Bengal also. So we have the assistant governor looking after the various societal needs, requirements through Rotary Club through Rotary clubs. We have very honorable Gopali Bozarwa, Madam. So we would like to welcome you, Madam, on this very auspicious, important day for all of us. We have amongst us the lead speaker to whom you are going to listen to him very shortly. He is none other than Professor D. Paul. He has served Nehru on various positions and he is he has been instrumental in developing the Department of Forestry at ISO campus and then Department of Environmental Studies here at Nehru campus. So I would like to welcome you also, sir. There are many important personalities, people sitting off the dais. I would like to welcome on behalf of the organizing committee and on behalf of everyone, those who are concerned for the environment to be there to welcome them and so that they are able to help us in celebrating this World Environment Day. We know that the days are passing by, our requirements are increasing. As our requirements increase, we know that we require a lot of things like as we require clothes, we require many things, say cars, scooter, or many things. So we require many industries. As industries grow, definitely industries will use some water and put water in the environment. Definitely industries will use some air and put some other air in the environment. Definitely these industries also require something which is hidden beneath the surface. And as something beneath the surface is taken out to the surface, it means by that way also we add up some amount of things onto the surface, so that all these things lead to various kinds of pollutions. And even we know that rivers are flowing, rainfall is happening, so erosion also takes place. So until unless we become aware of such activities which are happening and we know that what is our contribution, probably the World Environment Day celebration won't be successful. We know that, I'm going to ask you a question. We know that we love our motherland. It means we love Shillong, isn't it? Do you love Shillong? Yeah. Now, once you know that what you love, then you also should know that what is the way to protect it, what is the way to conserve it or to preserve it, so that it is handed over to the generations as we received it from our generation, our elder generation. So with this, without going into many conceptual things, I would like to say that the role of each and every participant, it is not that we are organizing program and the moment you go back, you tend to forget. Every day, remember, God has given you a power. Power means being human being. We are using all the resources available on the earth, isn't it? We use resources on the earth, knowingly, unknowingly. For our living livelihood, we are using various resources. If you use resources, there is a process to use them in a circular fashion. We talk of circular economy. It doesn't mean that if I leave if the flower is there, I'll pluck it, or fruit is there, I'll eat it and then forget. There has to be a circular fashion of usage of various things which are available on the surface of the earth. As we use them, we also should know that how to utilize the waste out of that also. That's what is very important. Once you know that how to utilize the waste also, probably that's what is the circular motion. That's what is the motion by which the things will move on. So without taking much time, I would like to welcome you all with a reminder that Your contribution, your participation to preserve, conserve the only and the Mother Earth is of great importance. Thank you all for making it a success because by your presence and by your smiling faces. So welcome you again for this program. Thank you.
Thank you, Professor. Now I would like to call Rotarian Bhupati Vasan Purwa to kindly enlighten us with her words. Very good morning. Honorable Chief Dinesh, Shahra, Vice Chancellor, and Dinesh, Professor Mr. Lord, and President RCOC, Mr. Devesh Walia, other dignitaries of the dais, guests, invitees, and students. I extend a warm Rotary greetings to all on this World Environment Day. It's a remarkable annual event since 1973 that focuses on environmental problems and work to find a lasting solution. The main goal is to raise awareness among the masses about the threats to environment and a reminder to all of us that we need to take care of the environment at any cost. This year's theme is Beat the Plastic Pollution. Indeed, it is a gigantic issue, a huge menace and threat to the environment and threat not only to the human beings but also to the animal kingdom, both the land and the marine animals. I thank the ESR Foundation for taking the initiative and supporting NEMO and Rotary Club of Orchid City Shillong to organize this program today and to discuss on such an important issue. And I'm sure we have a panelist experts to deliver on this topic today, and I'm sure after the discussion, we will some important roadmap will emerge to how do we protect our environment. Specifically, we refer to the requirements of our region. So far as Rotary is concerned, Rotary shares an interest in protecting our common legacy environment. Rotary International, as you all know, is a service-oriented organization, and Rotary has 6 focus areas in which times they take up all the projects. These are the field of peace building, disease fighting, water and sanitation, supporting education and mother and child health, promoting local economy. And all the projects, the social service, community service projects, we focus on these the 6 areas. And since 2020, Rotary International has included the 7th area of focus, that is protecting the environment. And since it is the need of the hour. However, even before officially protecting the environment was included as one of the focus area of Rotary, Rotarians around the world were doing projects relating to environment. Rotarians are committed to supporting activities that strengthen conservation and protection of natural resources, advance ecological sustainability, and foster harmony between community and environment. In fact, every year, the Rotary year starts from 1st of July, and every year, the very first project of every club starts with tree plantation. Because it starts from 1st of July, the tree plantation is the very first project which every Rotary club takes up. And Rotarians are now committed to plant 5 million trees every year for the next 10 years. Rotarians are also committed to break carbon neutral by 2030. And across the world, Rotary clubs are taking up projects for cleaning river projects, etc. In fact, the Dutch Rotarians, they are already working on this plastic waste problems. They have been tackling this issue with their project, the End Plastic Soup project, under which they are taking up projects for cleaning their canals and in Amsterdam, and they have extended project further by going into, collecting and of waste product and creating awareness at a global level. So Rotarians are tackling environmental issues the way they always do, coming up with projects and using their connections to change the policy and planning for the future. They have been working to combat environmental issues. And more than $18 million from the Rotary International Foundation for Women Grant Project have been utilized, allocated so far in the last 5 years for environmental projects. So we can see that Rotary is closely associated with works for protecting the environment. And creating this new area of focus to support environment will give the Rotary members even more ways to bring about positive changes in the world. We have around 46,000 clubs in 200 countries with more than 1.2 million members. So one can imagine the impact such an organization will have if they take up an issue of, this environment, any environmental issue. However, at the time when environment is under threat, the call of the hour is all the stakeholders to be united and take decisive and collective action to sustain the future. It is our duty that the way we protect our personal properties, our wealth for our future generation, it is also our duty that we protect the environment, not only for our sustain our future, but also the future of the next generation. So today on this World Environment Day, and this is a very special year as we are celebrating this eventful day on the 50th year. Let us all take a pledge that we will do our best to protect the environment. Thank you. Thank you, madam. It was really very nice to know all the contributions Rotary Club has been doing to safeguard our environment. Thank you so much. Next, I'd like to invite Professor D. Paul, who will be giving a short presentation on plastic pollution.
Thank you, and very good morning to all present here. One, not so one, greetings on the 50th anniversary of the World Environment Day. And for the dignitaries on the dais, Shahra, Professor Nayak, Rotary, Wani, and Wani. I've been given a very short amount of time to take you through certain aspects of plastic pollution, and I will really talk about certain aspects which are either brushed under the carpet or ignored. Now, therefore, the topic is dimensions and solutions, plastic pollution. Now, when we think about plastic pollution, what comes to mind is our drains are clogged, our streams are clogged, our oceans are full of plastic. Period. We don't think beyond that. Novel. Can I have the first step? Next. Now, if you look at the origins of plastic, it was in 1907 that Henrik Beekman first invented plastic synthesized through mixing phenol and formaldehyde. And since then, we have had a lot of research going into plastics, and we have got a huge species diversity of plastics which have come into play, some of which are listed here. I will really curtail my talk in the sense that I will not take much time on this slide. We are already running. And so this marriage of sorts happened between plastics and humans. It was a marriage destined to last very long because the clause of divorce was not there. So, like it or not, we had to, face each other and remain with each other for times immemorial. Now, next slide, please. If you look at the diversity of plastics, they've got various different qualitative characteristics: durability, strength, lightweight, weight to strength ratio is extremely high, cheap to produce, and they have pervaded all the different missions of human society, starting from your seat of your toilet, your toothbrush, even up to space travel. And probably Webb's telescope also has got plastic in it and is moving intergalactic travel. Therefore, as I said, plastics and human beings have been married, and plastics have promised to stay there for Saat Janam Kar behind me. Next slide, please. And this is the proof. Most plastics last in the environment for more than 100 years. And therefore, they are here to stay, whether you like it or not. Now, what do you do about it? All we hear is remove plastics, cleanups, and the likes. So all those things are happening fine, but then how bad is it? Next slide, please. In the oceans, most of the plastic actually, even from the land, especially those which are very light, they ultimately land up in the marine system. And then there you have the problem. On the right, you have the picture of gyres. These are centrifugal currents which are present all over the oceans. And these are something like your washing machine, circular currents, and they help to concentrate the plastic inside the gyres. And the proof of the pudding is the Great Pacific garbage patch, which is shown in the left of the picture. It is 1.6 million square kilometers, an area twice the size of Texas and 3 times the size of France. So you can imagine the amount of plastic which is residing in the marine life, in the marine system, and what all it can do to the marine ecosystem per se. And on the bottom right is shown the location of the GPGP, Great Pacific Gyre. Now there are two things which are very important to note. Next slide, please. On the top left, you can see that accidentally all the animals, they can consume small bits of plastic. These are macroplastics. They are larger in size, some are larger in size. And you can see on the left an aquatic bird, in the middle a terrestrial bird which has been dissected, and all the plastic has been brought out. And on the right you have elephants. It could be cattle also, and it is happening as we speak. Bottom left, on a fingertip in a drop of water, you can see what is known as microplastic. Now, what happens is, under the influence of UV light and temperature, the qualitative characteristics of plastics degrade and they become brittle, break down into smaller and smaller particles, ultimately becoming very small, so small that they can be suspended in air. What is known as suspended particulate matter. They defy gravity and remain suspended in air. And in this fashion, they can be inhaled by us while we are respiring. So you can see the size dimension which is shown in the fingertip. And on the right, you have an aquatic organism, a zooplankton, Daphnia. And the red circle indicates the presence of microplastics within its gut. Now, how does this matter? Next slide, please. On the left, you can see the triangle, which is the pyramid of numbers, you can say, or pyramid of energy. At the bottom, essentially what it means is that the numbers are highest at the bottom, and as you go up from plankton to shrimps and small crustaceans to small fish to large fish like shark, as you go up, the numbers decrease. To put it in another way, at the higher trophic level, the consumption of more numbers from the lower trophic. So A small crustacean would probably devour around 10 to 100 planktons. Now, if the plankton is having 1 unit of microplastic, it gets magnified to 100 times in the next level. Again, a smaller fish would devour 10 to 100 crustaceans. So again, it is magnified. Finally, when it reaches the shark, it is totally magnified to thousands of levels. So this is called biomagnification. At the same time, at every level, since these plastics are alien substances, they are not recognized by the normal metabolic pathways of the body. And in most of the cases, they are fluorinated substances and they reside in the fat body. So they accumulate without being metabolized. Normally, if it is metabolized, it will be broken down, the energy utilized, and it will pass through the feces or the urine. But in this case, it also accumulates. So you have two things happening. One is bioaccumulation and biomagnification. On the right, I have shown you some recent literature which clearly proves that microplastics are present in human tissue, human feces, in human placenta, that is the growing fetus, in human liver and lungs. So these are evidences that plastics have now entered our food chain and has come to reside inside our bodies. Now, how does this matter? Next slide. Even virgin plastic is laced with different chemicals. In its manufacture, it is laced with different chemicals. And then you have the breakdown of plastics. And when there is chemical breakdown, it also produces some byproducts. Most of these are known as endocrine disruptors. Now, the endocrine system is the most important system of the body, which ensures proper growth, mental development, physical growth, growth of the reproductive system, growth of IQ. Everything is dependent on the endocrine system, right from the time a child is born till he or she becomes an adolescent and an adult. Now, all these are supposedly compromised by the endocrine disruptors. As you can see on the right side, you have the hypothalamus of the brain, the thyroid, the adrenal glands on the kidneys, the pituitary glands, then the reproductive system, both male and female, they are affected. Now, why does this happen? There are two key words: organic and synthetic. Now, these chemicals, including plastics, are synthetic organisms, and they are synthetic organic compounds. Now, organic term comes from organism. Organic compounds are actually those compounds, natural organic compounds, are those organic compounds which are manufactured inside the cell to perform different functions, different enzymes and proteins. Now, what synthetic organics do is that it synthesizes something on the line of the organic, natural organic compounds. But in doing so, what happens is that the natural systems which are present in our environment are not able to recognize these synthetic organic compounds. And therefore, they become extremely persistent in the environment, they hardly break down. And in this persistence, they go on creating problems. Now look at, you look at, I'm showing just two examples of additives which are added to plastics. One is plasticizers, which gives them a lot of malleability. For example, the toys you have, the children's toys. And then you have the flame retardants, which are used to ensure that it does not heat up much or it does not catch fire. For example, in insulation cables, then inside the computers, all the insulation is provided. So you can see the health hazards associated with plastics of those. In the first case, male reproductive system is affected, fetal development, asthma, respiratory problems, allergic reactions, and skin sensitization, which could even lead to ulceration of the skin. and cancers. Similarly, flame retardants, nervous system, thyroid hormone, developmental delays, potential carcinogenity, greater risk of specific portions of the population, that is children and women. Now you will understand that the children and women constitute that fraction of the population which is going to be tomorrow's citizens. So you can understand for yourself what that would lead to. Next slide. Now this is something which we are conversant with it is very common nowadays, especially in today's generation, packaged food, food packed in cling wrap, or food transported in plastic in various forms, or ready-to-eat noodles, for example, which must be very, very common and very, very popular among the young people who are sitting here. Only eat and eat. So, once you are doing this, all these chemicals which are listed out, they are liable to leach out into your food and enter your system and compromise your endocrine system. Now, on land, there is another problem which is happening. Next, please. Is the e-waste, which is a huge problem on land. And in the left of the picture, you can see how e-waste is burned to recover the important metals therein. And so there is a release of toxic fumes like dioxins and furans, which are known carcinogens. And ironically, again, the bottom picture shows us it is children and women who are employed, mostly employed in this sector. So I leave it up to you to imagine what sort of problems we have with plastic pollution. It is not just the question of volume. More than volume, it is the question of disruption of the whole biology of ecosystems, resulting in poor ecosystem health, which will ultimately result in more extinctions, less what we call efficiency of the whole ecosystem, and will transform ultimately lead to the highest mammals, that is human beings. Next. Now, the potential solutions, as you can see, are we have already seen a lot of these going on, but I would like to draw your attention to the green ones, industrial policy changes. Industrial policy changes, where there should be some will to take stock of the situation that rein in the plastic industry itself, which is a very difficult thing to do, as many NGOs would vouch. Then plastic alternatives, this is going on in a very big way. Pyrolysis and plasma art decomposition are very good options for reducing the plastics into their elemental forms and therefore completely removing the problem of pollution, especially plasma art decomposition. Then you have from this plasma art to pyrolysis and plasma art decomposition, you can have what is known as waste to energy recovery. And the last one is extremely important and it is also happening to a very large extent. Novel and clear macro consortia. Now, some novel macros have been found to act upon many of these toxic chemicals in the aquatic environment, and this has been found in, while researching on your tertiary water treatment methods. Similarly, genetically modified microbes have got a very good potential, or their consortia, they also have a very good potential for attacking and removing these toxic chemicals which are present in plastics. Next. So we can actually have a circular economy even with plastic, provided we have the will to do it. And on this 50th anniversary of World Environment Day, I think it is a time to retrospect and see where our environment has gone during the last 50 years. Thank you.
What? So we proceed further with the address by the chief guest, Mr. Dinesh, Shahra, and I would like to call you on stage to kindly give us your words of wisdom on the phenomenal work that you've been doing.
Good afternoon. Today we are not the day. So our foundation has made a special song for the first time in launching at this occasion. So explain what the foundation wish to do for the environment. Just here you go. We have begun our day today by starting the settings in department. We began today. And our foundation is committed to the basis of the foundation is give to give. And all four initiatives we have are just to make sure that we are being molded, we plant trees across not only India, overseas also, and inspire people to plant trees. We have a water mission, we have Bush Abhiyan, and women empowerment. So what we believe that the nature is a part of our creation. God Almighty created us and also created nature for ourselves, for our living. We have to respect the gift of God. But unfortunately, due to consumerism, due to more requirement, we can have one house, we don't need high houses, good houses. All that is really a punishment. We are not respecting what God has given us. We see all the outcome of those things. We have global warming, we have the recent one is climate, thermal, and now we will say that we have plastic. All these things I want to tell you that we need to be concerned for nature and on a festival when my grandfather the younger people came to me. This is grandfather, don't give us any house or this in return. We will educate ourselves, you are giving us best education. Here we can drink water, fresh water, we can breathe air. So these are the gifts we are supposed to do to our coming generation. Now, Sanatan, I will take my final this Sanatan movement, which I have taken up. I'm a student of life. I'm not here to preach you anything. I just want to, my experience of life is that this Sanatan is the timeless, when the universe was created, it was created with sound of Om. And there was no religion at that time, and the philosophy of that was Vasudhaiva, one world, one community, and fortunately this G20 is also having the same. So we are part of one. If you want to say that feeling that philosophy comes to life, our life is so good, so wonderful. It would be given the Tira, Apna, Jivan, it's not good, that is full of abundance. So that is, I think, the Sanatana philosophy, Sanatana values intention. And I would say that by G20, in coming time, we should G all, what money, we should get into that. And with Sanatana, Sanatana is timeless, eternal, is a truth. And so that really will bring joy and the purpose of our life is all of Sanatana. We are born together. Unfortunately, the Western world is taught that we should have, do, have. And forgot that we are the children of Almighty. It's such a great universe. Sun को सुबह सन उठता है, हवा आती है, पानी शुद्ध है, कितना साइंस किया है, उसके बावजूद भी आज हम कैसे अपने आइडेंटिटी आइस है, जिस क्रिएटर ने इतना बड़ा ब्रह्मांड, इतना सुंदर ब्रह्मांड बनाया है, उसको हम पढ़ाई करें और उसके क्रिएशन, उसके नेचर को और उसको नहीं एविडेंस आपके पास आप साइंटिफिक दृष्टि होंगे आपके पास जो भी लोग आएंगे उसे यही आपको आज के हमारे प्रकृति आपके देश में जमीन रक्षा करेंगे उसका सेलिब्रेट करेंगे और अपने जीवन को बिल्कुल अपने जीवन बिल्कुल एंजॉय करेंगे। थैंक यू।
Dinesh for sharing your philosophy with us. So now next we have felicitation by the DS Foundation, for which I would like to ask Mr. Dinesh to felicitate our Vice Chancellor first. Yes, Vice Chancellor, kindly give a short presentation to Mr. Dinesh. So the DS Foundation would like to felicitate other dignitaries too. So I would like Mr. Dinesh to kindly felicitate Dr. Walia. Paul. I'd like to call onto the stage Mr. Nava Bhattacharya. Felicitation. Roshni, can you come on the stage? We have Professor Brinda. And then I'd like to call upon the stage Dr. P.K. Goswami. Thank you, DS Foundation, for the felicitation. Now we have the concluding remark by our chairman, Vice Chancellor.
A very good afternoon to all of you. Our chief guest today, Dr. Dinesh Shahra. then Madam Kumari Gujavarwa, Mr. Navabhattaji, Professor Indra Presley, Dr. T.K. Goswami, Dr. D. Paul, Professor Dinesh Walia, Miss Rachna Subba, my colleagues, Professor Suresh, and I can see others also, Professor Patra and Professor Dey, and many of my colleagues from other departments who I can see from here. But pleased that so many of you are present today, including friends and colleagues from Kendra Vidyalaya and other organizations in this city and outside the city, and NCC cadets from different organizations, including NEPU, and students from Kendra Vidyalaya and other friends, invited guests and dignitaries. It's a great pleasure to be associated with this function today, such an important one, but unfortunately I have so little time. Environment being one of the core subjects, understanding in geography, which I belong to, is something which I would have loved to speak for a long time, and participate in the next panel discussion that is going to take place on plastics. Something is a large consequence, but I'm happy that Professor Shahra has come from all the way from Mumbai and has joined us today with this speech. Very, and also the books that he has published. It shows the importance that industry is now giving to environment. Something sometime back we were always blaming that industry the greatest polluters to the environment. That's a very important development in the recent times. I am getting calls, so I would like to thank all of you to be present here, and today's function I know will be going on very well on plastic issue which will be discussed, and I'm sure all of you will benefit out of it. I'm thankful to all of you who have come here to our university and joined on this auspicious occasion of the World Environment Day. I thank you once again, and I would like to join you after 20-30 minutes. I will come back again. Thank you.
So this we come to the end of the first half of the program. So I would like to take the opportunity to thank this foundation. Thank you, Rotary Club. Thank you, KJ Vidyalaya, and thank you to everyone who's been there with us so far. So next we are going to go to the panel discussion. But before that, I'd like to say to all the speakers that have spoken this morning and you all have enlightened us with your wise words. Your commitment to make the world a better and cleaner, healthier place in your own respective path has inspired us, and we shall take home the message with us with the wise words. So thank you, dignitaries, for your presence. Before we embark on the other part, just to ease the mood, we have a light-hearted dance by Sevanta and Jokpur from the Department of Geology, and they will be performing a beautiful new fusion dance for us.
देखा एक ख्वाब तो ये सिलसिले हुए
Okay, so the last phase of the program and discussion, the topic is solutions to plastic pollution, and we have list of guests who are going to be invited to the stage and they are going to make their point. Firstly, we have Professor Dinesh who is going to be the moderator of this panel discussion. And then we have Professor D. Paul from the Department of Environmental Science and Engineering as one of the panelists. Next, we have Mr. Nava Bhattacharya, Chairman of SCAC as one of the other panelists. And then we have Ms. Roshni Subha, President C. Shillong. Professor Brinda PhD, Head Department of Education, Nehru. And then we have Dr. P.K. Goswami, Director, INDRBS, ONUT, Jorhat. All of them will be making their respective points on the topic solutions to plastic pollution. And I request all students to please give a key ear and listen to the insightful speech that they are going to enlighten us about.
Thank you, Rashna. Thank you, everyone. Now, see, listen, this is very, very important part of the program, because on the dais, you might have seen the diverse nature of or diverse composition of the people. We are from different aspects dealing with environment. Sir, you're you were supposed to be, I thought that she suddenly I saw her, you are sitting there. One of the important
Of course, I should get Dr. Dinesh as one of the panelists.
actually we are noticed that you are there. Yeah. So we have experts from all different uh, contributors, you can say, because you know that environment cannot be managed single-handedly. Yeah. So now you know that you have abundant of resources available naturally, and you only have to, you are only, God has given you the wisdom. You, means as a participant, you have lived for more than 15 years of life. Only you have got the wisdom to know how to manage the environment. So you know that as the composition says, that these are the people from the diverse contributors in the life, whatever you are enjoying. So we have, you can say from here, Madam Roshni Subha. She is managing the society. We know that anything has got societal impact, and we need to know that how to manage it from the way we live, the way we expect our system to grow. We do have uh, Nava Bhattacharya ji. There is a system in the state. If any, in the morning I said that any industry, anything you think of using in the life, it will have impact on environment definitely. So there is an organization called State Environmental Appraisal Committee, which is there to look after your environment. The environment means the water and the air, which is considered to be polluted, getting polluted by various industries. So we have an agency or a body which looks after the environment, means the thing which you are getting. We do have Professor Binda, because we know that whatever we have got in a scientific framework, whatever we develop, but until unless it is translated to the for the awareness of the people, you won't be able to use it. So we require a committed, dedicated people to teach, to bring, like we are conversing, so bring all the things to you so that you are able to use it. Because such programs are just to boost you, just to initiate you, so that those who miss, say this program will have some media coverage, so that those who are not worried, those who are not able to take out time from their busy life to think of the environment, at least they know that some people or some of the contribution will help make the environment cleaner and greener. So for such awareness programs and all, we do need to have the contribution from the departments like Department of Education and all, which are into such service. We have director in Brigades from ONGC. You know that the perception is that the cars which you use, they use fuel. isn't it? So once the fuel comes, once you use, they bring in some amount of pollution, definitely. Although they help you develop the system, but that's what is the perception is. We need to know that what all contributions, how all things are developing, so that we are able to tackle it in a proper manner. So we have Mr. P.K. Goswami ji from Jorat amongst us. He is the director in Bigis of uh, organization of ONGC. So remember one more thing, that as we fly, as we very easily move from here to there, in a vehicle leaves microcarbon, vehicle leaves lot of pollutants. But other than this, even when the vehicle moves on the road is also made up of costa. When the tires they rub, they also give rise to microcarbons and all. So there are lot many things are there which we need to understand from your perspective so that you are able to build. We do have in the morning you have heard the organizations like DS Foundation, those who are ready to contribute for the goodness of we all, so that they know that for development, for the sake of taking the resources beneath the surface of the earth, some amount of degradation to the environment, it ought to happen. Once it happens, there is a selfless service to be provided to the society so that our environment remains clean and green. As we say that this earth is given to us by our elder generations, and we are also responsible for giving the earth to our next generation. So there has to be a concerted effort to build so that the environment, the system, what we receive, at least to that level we are able to give it to the next generation. And then we have got Professor Paul, people involved in developing various methods, science and technology, so that we are able to deal them systematically. So you can understand that the kind of panelists sitting with us, they are of great importance. And if you miss even a single word, you are going to miss a lot. All right, there is a system which says that upscale the use of whatever plastic and all, or use, recycle, reuse the system so that you are minimum using. So all such systems you are already exposed to. But let us hear, let us start from Professor Paul in 1 or 2 minutes. What he thinks, what are the solutions to beat the plastic pollution. In the beginning, we'll have 1 minute intervention about whatever their organization they belong to. How do they think they are able to contribute so that one more thing before I invite the panelists. You know that there are not many parameters are there, and through this World Environment Day or the 50th anniversary of World Environment Day, our main focus is that to deal whatever bare minimum we are able to contribute. Don't think that what I alone can do when the polythene, what the plastic waste, whatever is shown or whatever way you see, until as everybody thinks. All right, so one drop, or each drop makes the ocean. Remember, so your contribution, without your contribution, your liking for your earth, you are not going to take it forward. So that's what is the background. So just try to listen to the various aspects of life so that you are able to build your concept, your contribution, and your way of life. Thank you. Yeah.
Once again, good afternoon to everyone present. So I've already heard once, but summing up all in a very concise manner, I would like to throw your attention to a few things. First is that most of the activities are having needs a state sanction. In other words, it is the state government which is actually responsible to ensure that all these activities reach its logical end. Unfortunately, that is done by the government only under compulsion. If you look at the creation of the Central Pollution Control Board, the Central the Water Pollution Act, the Air Pollution Act, all these came into in India because it was mandated by humanity, and India was a signatory to humanity, is a signatory to humanity. To further prove my point, again, I was in the panel of a committee to look into plastic pollution in a particular state government. And this panel was valid for 3 years. And I'm sorry to tell you that in all the 3 years, there was only one meeting. And that one meeting could not be chaired by the chairman allotted for the purpose. And so the meeting did not come out with any prescriptions. So when we look at the government's side, I don't think we can depend on it. Second thing is the lobbying of, in this case, let us say, plastic industry. That is another fact which you cannot overlook. So ultimately, it is on the citizens to be aware and to do the least possible to ensure that the environment contains some semblance of its, health. And to that extent, I also would urge upon the serious NGOs to act as watchdogs and to ensure that all the policies which are there on paper, all the legislation which is there on paper, they are on interest, they are actually implemented at the ground level. Even in our state, there have been many times talk about removing single-use plastic. The talk happens, within 50 days, it is done. I'm sure it is because of the lobby, plastic industry, the lobby. I think I'll end here for the moment.
Thank you, Professor Paul. Now we have amongst us Mr. Nabha Bhattacharya. So I would like to request him to share his opinion about this whole concept.
And here again was the intervention of technology. A very good afternoon to all of you present here, the distinguished panelists, Dr. Walia, the moderator. 1 minute, right? So I think I'll focus on plastics since it's the theme. And I think we had the same thing, if I am not mistaken, in 2018 also. Why I remember this? Because in 2018, from the Meghalaya State Planning Board, we had launched a program, Beat Plastic Pollution with PLA and SLA. PLA means a small bag which you carry to your market for your daily needs. And SLA is leaf, those who are from what we will know is premium capitatum, which is gregariously growing here. Now coming to plastics, I would say control or how we tackle the menace is no rocket science. And many of you may not agree with me, but I think all such interventions pertaining to the environment needs to emanate from our individual homes first. And plastic is no difference. How much we consume, how we can reduce, reuse, recycle. So charity begins at home. And when any facets of life or anything which is created needs to come to an end. And it seems the only exception is plastic and how we treat plastic. Like Dr. Paul said, my department, we have huge set of legislations, acts, and your do's and don'ts. But when it comes to implementation and more important, monitoring, I think it is very, very weak in our country. If we see the acts and rules, you'll find they are among the best in the world. But when it comes to actual execution and monitoring, this is where we lag behind. So as far as the plastic is concerned, you see, we need to have sustainability. We just cannot wish away plastics. But at the same time, in 2018, I'm saying this was the same theme that we phase out. But this is a very cliche term, phase out. How do you phase out? What we do, we phase out and we sneak in. We phase out from our front door and we sneak in from our back door. And I'm not a great believer in that micron syndrome. You see, all these facets has to come to an end. This gives, you see, simple lay person, what does he or she comprehends pertaining to the microns? And this is where everyone takes advantage. I think we have reached the stage where strict and harsh measures are required. Our forefathers did not have plastics. They were happy, they were moved ahead with the sla and the pla. Why cannot we do it now? Because we want easier way out. We want to become more and more convenienced factors coming into our life. We are all busy. We do not want to carry our sla or marketing bags. I don't know what is the concept there if you carry your own bag and keep it in your pocket. So you see, even the mindset of all of us. And it cannot be only the acts and regulations, it has to be a synergy between the people and the government. And I think I will be excused for saying that it's good to observe, celebrate World Environment Day. It's great. We talk a lot. But is it going to the field in actual execution? Is it converting into action? What are the action points? What we derive? We discuss a lot, we deliberate a lot, but at the time of actual implementation, the percentage is very, very low. This rhetoric is fine. So to me, I think every day, every hour has to be a World Environment Day, World Environment Hour, and World Environment Visit. I think that has to be the goal. Of course, our state is much better.
Until unless we realize earlier, then we'll, otherwise the stick is already ready, so that we don't get used to such things. Means we need to act, otherwise time may be late and we won't be able to recover. Now we have amongst us Mr. P.K. Goswami. So I would like to request Director Integris ONGC as an institute which looks after the environment. So I would like to request him to share his opinion about the concept of World Environment Day or solution to plastic pollution.
Hello. Good afternoon. Everybody. Ladies and gentlemen, today's topic is pollution, plastic pollution. In all planets has this told about the problem of plastic pollution. And since I have come from hydrocarbon industry, I want to share something. How can we control manage pollution? So in hydrocarbon industry, as you know, we daily use these fossil fuels. These fossil fuels are limited to resource and also they are going to extinct in the future. And these fossil fuels are mainly responsible for carbon emissions, which create greenhouse effect. So we, hydrocarbon industry, sometimes accidentally hydrocarbons spills into the environment. So the ONGC, we have some cleanup technology. So we can clean up with the technology like bioremediation. We have some microbes we can reduce the degradation. And one other concept now is coming, and government also are facing on use of green hydrogen and the carbon neutral in India future. So ONGC also having planning for this direction and planning to be carbon neutral up to 2038. So among these, also we can use the alternate source of energy like bioethanol. We, as you know, now we are blending ethanol with petrol 20% so that we can reduce the carbon emission. So these are some methods we can control this air pollution in the future. And also we can reduce the use of the fossil.
Thank you, sir. We know that oil industry is upstream, downstream, everywhere they are contributing a lot for the environment. As he said that phytoremediation is one of the methods by which whatever such waste are there, they are trying to cater to the requirements of the environment. We know that unhygienic world, if we live in, it will lead to many diseases. And lot of diseases are due to poor quality of water or air and all. And we need to know that how or what organizations they can think of for the cleaning the various aspects of the life so that we are able to deal them in a most proper manner. So for this, there are not many such organizations, they are working, social organizations, they are working in the field, such fields of promoting the concept, because as I said that little deeds, they are also of importance, or whatever day-to-day contribution means our normal habit of using water, how much water we are using, how we are recycling the water, how even we are watering the plants, all such things are of importance. So I would like to ask Madam Roshni Subhaji, she is involved as a society for environment and development and its development to share that what is their role, what she thinks that organizations like these societies are able to put it so that we are in the safer hands.
Good afternoon, everyone, and members of the. We have heard points that I feel that not only an NGO or a society member can do, each and every one of us can do. We can ask, the school teachers, the professors, everyone can teach something or the other. When we see something being done wrong, we take the chocolates, we take toppings, and then why can't we put the wrappers in our bags rather than just littering the place? Littering the place, it means that, we see dogs around, somewhere we see goats and the cows around. It time just 1 minute, I have taken more than a minute. But from this platform, I would like to urge each and every one of you to spread awareness regarding stop the use of plastic. Thank you.
Yeah. So important thing is that the habits, they die hard. So one of the example is use of the plastic bottle. But second thing is that although while Professor Paul was making presentation, he said that even these plastics can be used to make the plastic bricks. So there is a positive aspect also. So in the life, we need to look at the life from two important aspects. If the glass is filled with water, some of them may think that the glass is half empty. Some of you may think that glass is half full. So the whole perception of looking at the half filled glass changes. And that's what, by way of organizing such program, is to update your way of looking at, or your perception of looking at the same thing from different angle. Now here one more thing is there. As the science is progressing, we know that why we are worried about the plastic is because once it is there in the nature, it remains there for a long time. We know that initially, we know that initially there was, when the development of plastic, there was polymethylene, later on it got used to longer chain, polyethylene or polyethylene, whatever we call it, it came up. Only problem with it is, once it is produced, it remains in the nature for a very long time, minimum for 500 years or 1,000 years and also. So it means what you are using one time, for you it is immaterial, you throw it anywhere, but that plastic is going to be there for 1,000 years. So you can imagine what you are doing it for one small purpose. So that's what Professor Nava was talking about, that if you don't understand, you don't start caring, or what our NGOs are in the field, they are telling that if you don't understand, money and luxury can bring you the facilities in life, but a little step again towards proper usage or change in the habits may probably make you a person or a well-being who is able to look after the earth's resources or look after your own self. We have amongst us Professor Brinda. She is into the education, so I would like to know that what ways you think that we should progress so that the people become more attentive and they are able to use this resource, which is definitely nature's resource only. Plastic is not coming from out of the nature. So how to use it, what they should do so that create awareness so that we become more sustainable, more happy in the life.
Thank you, sir. First of all, I would like to thank Mr. for inviting me to this program. We too in our department have celebrated in the morning with Ramadan Day, but still I felt that I should be here as a panelist today so that I could hear so many suggestions and ways and means on this theme that is plastic free. So, for me, I would like to start by saying that in India, as of now, if you look into the data, you will see that 51% of the pollution comes from industries and 27% comes from the vehicles that we own in the road, the vehicles in the road. And then, if you see, there are 2 million people who are dying every year of premature deaths because of pollution. So when you look into it, plastic is one of the reasons also. It is also contributing towards pollution. It could be the soil pollution, it could be the air pollution. So when we talk about usage, I have noticed that the plastics are actually coming from the vendors, the poor, when you're buying vegetables, when you're buying fruits, when you're buying, small things, you see they give you in a plastic. I noticed that. But if you go for branded shops or branded clothes or high shops, where you need to spend a lot more money, when you bring the packet, you see you get, you don't get plastics. They give you in a nice bag. So that I was wondering about that. How come? Because when you go to the vegetable shops on the roadside, they're all giving you plastics. But when you go to the high-end shops, there you never get plastics. So that is, a point of thought where we need to wonder why. And another thing is, I also recently I just returned, from a visit to France. I also want to just tell all of you that when I bought groceries from the shop there, and I was waiting after paying the money, so they were looking at me, what happened? And I was saying, how will I carry all these things? They're saying, we don't know. That's your problem. Because they don't give anything to carry. They will not give, no plastic is out of question, so they don't give you anything to carry. So then, we were thinking, okay, now next time when we go, we need to carry, what's said, we need to carry a bag with us so that we can keep. So you see the developed countries, they have no issues actually with the usage of plastics and the others. Even if you go to UK and the other countries, they don't use at all. But in India, you see, in the low profile, people more in the selling in the roadside shops, you see, they're all giving you plastic. You buy fish, you get in the plastic. You buy chicken, you get in the plastic. So by the end of the day in your house, you will see there are so many plastics already gathered, which you're going to throw it the next day in the dustbin. So once you collect, and you will see by the end of the week, your dustbin has become full of plastics. So then, what do you do with this? You wonder that now where will all these plastics go? The truck comes, the municipal truck comes, your problem is over, you hand it over to the truck, they take it, and they go and dump it, where they have to dump. So it's like a never-ending accumulation of plastics. And what I've seen, sir, presenting today, where the entire ocean, was showing how the plastic bottles and all have gathered, in the corner. So this again, what will happen to this? This will go on collecting and collecting and collecting over the years, and maybe go to 100 years and 200 years. And ultimately, what will happen? The entire ocean will get polluted, and then mutation will take place. New type of creatures will come out, and we really don't know what's going to happen after that. And talking about that, a small study was also done in the Unyam Lake. From one of the studies done in Nepal, where I read, and I just want to point it out, that after they had done the study, they have taken out the fish, done the study on that, and they have seen that certain kind of mutative, I won't say genes, some kind of, active ingredients were found, and they were saying that this fish, that particular fish, because of staying in that polluted water for so long, even while dissecting the fish, they found plastic. So they were saying that it has already affected the sperm of the fish. It was a male, And also, later on we were saying that it will not produce a same type of, species. Like for instance, if this type of fish, with another same type of fish come out, it may not be seen because of the mutation which is going to take place, and we have already taken place. So when you look into this, frankly, as an educationist, I feel that first of all, we are talking about the government. What will the government do? Yes, government has to play a very, very important role. Strict laws have to come. Because why are plastics coming in the roadside shops when it is not there in the higher ends? We need to speak on that. So government has to play a very, very strict rule here. A strict law has to come out. And another thing is awareness, what Madam was saying. We can, create an awareness among ourselves by not accepting the plastic. So if 10 of us don't do that, by not accepting the plastic, those who do, they really don't care because they don't care where the plastic is going. If we do that, maybe, slowly, we can do away with the using of the plastic. So things are very tense, which we don't know. And in future, we will come to know because of our grandchildren and great grandchildren who will be living in this earth. We are here today because of our ancestors of how they have lived. And our, great grandchildren or maybe who are going to be there in front of us, they are going to live is because how we are going to live, we have lived. So it is a matter of sharing, the earth with them also. Not that we will use it only for us and go away. We need to share with them also. So that's what I have to say. Thank you.
Now, days are to reinsist the commitment to protect nature. Remember, indirectly you are committed yourself for nature. We have not many such organizations, institutions, those who are committed to conserve nature. Nature means from ocean to water or from air to soil to air and everything. So one of such organization is DS Foundation. So I'm very pleased to invite the chairman of DS Foundation because I know that you have been contributing and we release the song. And not many things are there. We can take definitely small steps to resolve, but at the same time, any step may require some financial backing also. So we get restricted in our thoughts may be there. Science will develop, but we have to translate into the social reform. Like if the plastic is there, what is the alternative to plastic? Because we are so much dependent on how the things may grow so that we are able to conserve nature. So, Dinesh, please.
Thank you very much. With the permission of Professor Valeji, I want to give a different direction to this panel discussion. This World Environmental Day, I think we should call it as World Environment Awareness Day. The reason being that if all of us are aware what the environment damage or doing not our role can damage to ourselves. Because we are responsible for ourselves, our future generation, and I say that every resource has a source. We are not apart from the nature, we are part of the nature. So if I could describe this, I would say sustainability and spirituality. They are the two aspects of the life. Sustainability correlates to nature and spirituality connect to ourselves. I'll just say about spirituality because we have just launched one book on Sanatan living, and I say Sanatan being is our own self, Atma Devi Sanatan, which is universal, timeless, eternal. So this, anything which we do, which will harm us, will harm others also. We have no right to do that. With this awareness, we will do the best which we can do in all respect. Maybe it's environmental, planting trees, plastic pollution, or otherwise. You know, in our spirituality, we have been taught that we worship nature, we worship the forest, we worship the plants, tulsi, bilpatra, we worship. So if that awareness we have, we will never damage our forest. If this awareness we have, we will make sure that we only use plastic which is very necessary. Now, all the experts on the plastic have said that yes, there are 3 ways to deal with this: reuse, recycle. So these are the 3 ways. But I must say that our Prime Minister Modi ji, under his leadership, has permitted the use of plastic waste by proper treatment, but under with the Nitin Gadkari has started using in highways. That will be something wonderful. And the bricks construction also is going to be wonderful. So these initiatives with plastic cannot be totally avoided. This initiative will definitely be eco-friendly. So these are the things which I would wish to share. And I think we all of us are responsible towards our nature. And the last, I would say that is what I have done a new song for the planting the trees. Next time I visit, I'll make sure I make a beautiful song on the plastic also. For all of you. Thank you.
We have come to the last part of the discussion. I would like to ask intervention from all the experts in 30 seconds or in bulleted points. What do you think that what way they can contribute or in what way we also contribute to save ourselves or to protect the nature or to use these blessings of God in a best possible manner? For 1 or 2 points, if you want to say, it's very good. Yeah, we can start this time from here. Yeah, madam. Whatever intervention you want or you want to include in the shortest possible manner, some interventions.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I've already said, in fact, I think I have put up my points, but then yes, when Mr. Valia said we can, it's just our, thoughts, we see the glass half full or half empty. And here we are very much aware that the roads have been made and then in the construction of the roads, the plastics have been used. It is not that the plastics that are used are not unused. There are technology and technology is playing its part. But having said so, the part that technology is playing, the recycling of plastic is not up to the maximum the usage when you see the ratio of the usage of the plastic. And here we can urge again, please do make people aware about even the health hazard. I think, Northeast is one of the region where we get a lot of cancer patients. And why is it so? It is also because of the usage of plastic. We all know that microbeads are banned. We should not be using microbeads that we find it in our cosmetics. So these are all health hazards. you all are educated, you all are in university, and you can just go about articles, and then please make an effort to aware people about the health hazard of single-use plastic, and also as plastic in particular. Thank you.
Yeah, I think all of you have now realized the evil potential of plastic. Each piece of plastic in your house is a ticking time bomb. And from where we generate this plastic, it mostly comes from the CBDs, the central business districts to your respective home. So plastic is the biggest menace and pollutant among all the polluting pollutants denigrating the environment. I see a lot of youngsters. I'll just take a minute more. I see a lot of young people, I think about 80-85% or even 90%. In 2019, from the planning board, we had undertaken a one-year study in the 4 big markets of Shillong, where mostly plastics are generated. And I would like to just point out to my young friends here that around 95% of the students, you will be surprised, they were asked, are you ready to carry a plastic bag? And I had that report I was showing it. They said, we do not want to carry a plastic, we prefer a plastic than a bag because it sends out a wrong fashion statement. I think that is ridiculous. Your life depends first. So we thought, and people who were interviewed above 65 years of age or 60 years of age, about 80% of them were willing to carry a bag. We thought it will be the other way around. But the elders, of course, like us, realizing the damage which we have done, and we have failed the young generation definitely. So this is the menace of plastic. And treating of plastic, it has to be killed, obliterated. There are other issues which you can treat, whether you have sulfur in the water, you can go for bioremediation, there are a host of other things. In Shillong, I'm telling you, we started this and all the shopkeepers were ready to replace the plastic with slab. And there are about 11 villages in Meghalaya where in the Khasi Hills we took over for plantation of slab. And they did it in a huge manner. But what happened? That supply, demand and that supply chain could not be maintained. Nesfas, most of you must have heard, they had prepared more than 10,000 small bags which were purchased for 10 rupees. People were not ready to pay 10 rupees for multiple use of these bags. So what I would like to say, I think we can speak for hours on this. We need to change our mindset. And my appeal to all our young friends here, I think you are the biggest teachers of your parents and at home. Once you start this movement at home, in your community, in the market, and make it a mission, a war against plastic, I think we can go a long way. I don't say that all the ills will be taken care of, but this will be a journey well started if we take a pledge from today itself. Thank you.
I too would like to share my thoughts. In fact, I've already spoken earlier, but just one point to tell all of us here is that we can reduce the use of plastics. That is very important because it is easily available because I think it is less expensive compared to the papers which are there for packaging. So that's why everyone is using. So it comes to us, so we take it. So that is what we feel, and there's no time to argue also. You know, why you give me in a plastic and all that. We don't care, as long as we take it and we go. So that point we need to take care of. You know, how would we take the things from the market and bring it home? We should reduce. And I also remember once we heard that all the leftover plastics will be used for making the road, if I'm not mistaken. You know, they will use for making the blacktop roads. They will all be used, you know, for making the road. So that was a very good idea because you know that we have so many roads still to make and to repair, and we can still use them in the right way. So I think that is all I want to say. Thank you.
I also agree with ma'am, use disposable plastics, stop buying water, cook more, and buy less. Put pressure on manufacturer to recycle more, produce less. These are the ways we can reduce the plastic pollution.
I would like to mention that we must be responsible humans, social, moral, and spiritual responsibility. Our slogan, spiritual slogan is Vasudeva Kutumbakam, which is also the slogan of G20. And with this spirituality in mind, we don't damage as much as the world damages the nature. I've been told that of the 400 million tons of plastic being used in the world, India has only 1 million tons of usage. And out of 8 billion people in the world, we are 1.4 billion. So we contribute 18% of the population and our wastage so less. I'm not saying that we should use plastic as much, but with this spiritual awareness in our life, we have been built that we cannot afford to damage the nature. So I would say that this awareness of Vasudeva Kutumbakam in our life, one world, one family, we will not commit anything which will damage our nature and in turn ourselves. Thank you.
Thank you. I will again pick up a thread from what Mr. Vijay said. It is strange how the larger shops, the big brands, they no longer label tag, whereas the small street vendors, they give you this microplastics, plastic bags. This vindicates my earlier statement that, as Nava has said, that our legislation is one of the strongest in the world. I agree. And our implementation is one of the poorest in the world. If the government has already decided to do away with this plastic, how come these street vendors are still using it? This again brings me to the second part of the question. Our youth cannot be, inert gases. You have to react. So, under this particular scenario where we know that the street vendors are getting their plastic bags, it is obvious there is some nexus somewhere which allows this plastic to come in. And it speaks about the lack of implementation of this legislation. What can we do about it? It is for us to speak up, and that is where the youth comes in. Youth must be aware. The government is like a tool. If you have a saw at home, the government is like a saw. But unless you pick it up and start cutting, it will not cut by itself. Therefore, in everywhere, it is unfortunate that we are giving you a bad environment than what was. In the last 50 years of World Environment Day, I'm sure out our environment has got worse. So we have to introspect, and you are the leaders of that introspection, because tomorrow you will be inheriting this environment. And this also brings into question the type of lifestyle which we have among the youth today. They literally live off synthetics. Starting from the hair wax to the face wash, to the face fairness cream, to the deos, to the instant noodles, packaged food, put in the microwave, eat and eat. At every step of your this sort of consumption, every step, and I am saying this with authority, you are exposing yourselves to very, very strong, undesirable organic chemicals, which will not show their effect immediately. But what will happen is that a whole generation later, you will see that the whole population demographics has changed. We are seeing it at the ecosystem level. We are seeing it in fishes, alligators, even higher mammals. So it is obvious it is also present in man. In fact, a closer look today would show you that many of the diseases which were diseases of the old ages, for example, blood pressure, IBP, obesity, heart diseases, diabetes, and autoimmune disease. Very sorry to say, all these diseases now are happening at the ages of 20 plus, 20, 25 plus. And everyone rushes down on the carpet saying that, oh, this is lifestyle problem. This sitting in this chair for a better part of the day, so that is the problem. It is not the problem. The problem is actually also coming from the synthetics which you are engulfed with. You have taken a route from organic to synthetic, and this will ultimately tell its effect much more time later. For example, DDT, which was invented in 1930s, was used rapidly even by the World Health Organization for Malaria Control. Those of us who are our age, we can even recall the overwhelming smell of DDT all around us, especially in areas of Assam tea gardens, the like where malaria was prevalent. Today, that group of people, that age group of people, many of them are suffering from thyroid problems. Women, even before they reach the menopause, they start getting thyroid problems at the early ages of 25, 30, 35, 40. Then you have DDT residues even in breast milk. So, effects come much later. And therefore, I would like to put a word of caution to our young friends, because you are living in a different environment, in the sense that your whole lifestyle, including your food habits, your physical habits, etc., all are being dominated by synthetics, somewhere or another. So my advice to you would be reduce that to a minimum, because unobtrusively many of these chemicals are seeping into your system and will be telling much later when you reach middle ages. Thank you.
Thank you, all the respected panelists. We have come to an end of this program. Before ending it formally, some of the honorable members sitting off the dais, they joined us a little later. So we would also like to honor them by way of our love and affection and presenting them. Orchid, you can present. So I would like to request them to kindly stand up and then so that receive our token of love and affection on this day of World Environment Day. Just to tell you that responsibilities are huge, and there is a single-use plastic, there is a multi-layer plastic, there are not many types of plastics are there. So at the earliest we take them out of our life, it is better for us. So I would like to request Professor Stephen Dakar to who is there with us to kindly accept the token of love. We have our Assistant Governor from District 3240, Mr. Bibuji from Guwahati. So you are welcome to this program. Dear friends, you can see that some of these vehicles, they are seen all around. They are from the NCC, and we can't honor you all right now. We can't honor you right now, but as your representative, I would like to request Colonel S.S. Sandar to please accept a token of love. We do have Professor C.P. Suresh from Sura campus. I would like to request him to accept our dear friends, I would like to request students from Deendayal Upadhyaya Community College for skill development. Please stand up, please. You all are looking beautiful in your attire. Please stand up. Our audience is over here. He is our central coordinator who is looking after the center for skill development. Please just come. Yeah. He is looking after that center for Deendayal Upadhyaya Community College. Now, while coming from that center, they brought very special tree as a remembrance for this program. So some of you can come and hand over those special plants, those special trees to our respected panelists, although they brought only four because they were visiting from there. Yeah, please. As suggested, we'll try to plant it here, but soon have a government. So firstly, let us have from this is plant. Yeah. No problem. To our to give it morning time we got it, morning time we got. I'm giving it to those. Then we have Swami Saab from United. We would like to request you to give it to Madam Shillong. This is a please give it to my will you be able to carry it to Mumbai? Yes. So, we would like to see Ashutosh ji that it is planted. So, just to sum up the panel discussion, always remember that the gift and blessings which nature endows on us are priceless. Don't forget, whatever we get from nature, it is priceless. So, it is rather essential to conserve whatever nature has given. So, it is not only the responsibility as told to you by our panelists or in the morning session, but it is our own responsibility to take care of it, to conserve it. With this, let us clap once again for the program. And clapping means your contribution for the nature to protect the environment and to conserve and preserve is of utmost importance. Without your contribution, nothing is possible. So with this, I would like to thank you all for making this program
a success. Yeah, I would like to request group by group, okay, I would like to request NCC people to come. I think for the guys, I photograph like this, you can have photograph group by group. I would like to request our honorable Chancellor sir and other dignitaries. Other dignitaries, Madam Speaker, yeah, Madam Wali, Vibhuti ji, Ashutosh ji, you all also be here, and all of you, yeah, yeah, come here. Doctor, Professor, please be here on that. We have to be able to take 2 minutes only because we are going to get it very organized. Yeah, thank you. From the Dean Dayal Upadhyay Community College, please do come quickly. Please do come. Thank you, NCC graduates, for making it a great. Come quickly. Now I think you are. Let us take turns. Come fast. Oh, they are not visible there. Yeah. Your face should be visible, remember. Just wait. Some of you can sit also there. Yes. You can sit there. Otherwise,
Boys can sit. Boys can sit. All the boys can sit.
Yeah, quickly. Some of you want to sit there. Sit there. Go here. Yeah, like that. So that you can be visible. Oh, take that. Those who are comfortable. Sorry, see, become you will that 5 minutes. Yeah, thank you. Now, rest all of the geology and water science students. Geology and water science students, please do come. You are the top pillars. Remember, come fast, all. All of them. All of them come fast. Geology and water science students. You can give your camera or mobile to someone there. अरे आप वहाँ कैसे आइए come fast. Maybe आइए some of you can sit over here so that will be visible. Come fast, come fast. Physics वाले, yeah. अरे डॉक्टर साहब क्या? आइए. अरे एडवांटेज में क्या? ये बड़ा ग्रुप हो चुका है. कम आइए. बिग ग्रुप हो गया. You come, you move. I will just message this person. ये बड़ा है. One more can sit, bro, but they are not acting. They don't like this. Where is my mobile? अरे क्या आपको आइए आ जाइए पात्रा साहब दो लोग बचे हैं सक्सेना साहब all right yeah thank you rest all anybody who wants to come and have photograph people sitting there yeah come from that side yeah come boys and girls come those who are there we can have DSL foundation people also on the side, those people as well. Yeah, those who are there, we can foundation people. Those who are sitting here, you can come to the dais for photograph. Those who are sitting also, you can come to the dais for photograph. Those who are not there. Papers are now, you cannot give me. Kapasa, please go. Thank you. Now there will be formal vote of thanks by Ashutosh. Yeah.
Every single day, we all make special. On World Environment Day, I was very happy seeing such a young crowd taking such a serious At first, I'd like to thank the audiences for being so patient and listening to such serious discussions for so long. So thank you, crowd. You will be very wonderful. And I'd also like to thank Nego and the authority who is responsible for making this function so successful. I'd like to thank the Vice Chancellor for his presence and his commissioners for conducting this function. I'd like to thank Ms. Rachna Subha, Department of Geology. I'd like to thank the Vice Chancellor, sir. I'd like to thank our Chief Guest, Mr. Dinesh, Shahra, Chairman of ESS, Mr. D. Ford, Department of EDS and at Shillong, Mrs. Kumari, Gujarat Sarva, Professor Devesh Palika, who is possible. I'd also like to thank the panelists, Mr. Nava Bhattacharya, Ms. Roshni Subha, Professor Vincent, Dr. T.K. Goswami, Colonel Sir, without your presence, we would have not been so successful. All the faculty members from NEHU and all the dignitaries who have made their presence and felt this entire function.
And please forgive me if I distort certain things. But thank you so much, everyone, for making this day successful. And we hope to see you all once again. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you everyone for your patience and for waiting all this while. So with this we end our program. I'd like to specifically mention that lunch will be served only for the registered participants after. So please take care of that.
Thank you for finishing the program so well. We missed giving to our organization. And our duty is great for them. So that's going to do the honor.
बोले भी दे देना
पाल सकता है